We are doing full coverage makeup today, Satan. Hello everyone, and welcome to The Creative Urge. My name is Austin, and in this video, I am going to be making my eyebrows disappear. Yes, you heard me correctly. This technique is called brow blocking. A lot of drag queens, special effects artists use this technique in order to create more eye space. And as you guys already know, I have hooded eyes and my eyebrows are very close to my eyes, so I don't have a lot of eye space. So I want to try this technique for myself to see what kinds of looks I can create. Now, I have attempted to block my brows on several occasions. For any of you who follow me on Instagram, you may have seen the Instagram story I posted, which was a complete and utter fail. So I'm hoping to redeem myself a little bit in this video and also take it a little bit farther and attempt my first look. The look I'm going to attempt to recreate today is from Celine Bernaerts. She is a makeup artist, she has a YouTube channel, and she is just a goddess. She is so edgy, she's got like a shaved head, and she's just so ethereal and classy and dignified and British and just beautiful. We don't do any of those things on this channel, so I'm going to try my best to pay tribute to her and try to create a look that is somewhat appealing to the human eye. We are going to keep the expectations very low so that if I mess up, no one's disappointed. If you would like to follow along with me, I will have everything that you need listed in the description box below. So without further ado, let's get started. So the first step in this process is going to be using some rubbing alcohol to remove the oils from my eyebrows. You can use just a standard rubbing alcohol. This is 70%, and I'm just going to use a little bit of a cotton swab. I really recommend that you're careful in this step because you don't want to get alcohol all over your skin. It's going to dry out your skin and mess up the pH balance. So just keep it concentrated right into the brows. All right, so just taking that and just putting it right through the brows in all different directions. We don't want that oil to interrupt any of the layers that we are going to create. So far so good, can't mess this step up. The next thing we're gonna do is we're gonna take our Elmer's glue stick. We use the purple kind on this channel. Everybody said, I've watched many videos and they say use the purple kind, the Elmer's glue. I don't know why everybody just loves this one better. I don't know if it's because you can kind of see where you're laying down the glue. I'm not sure, but this is the holy grail, so this is what we're gonna use. All we're gonna do is we are gonna just start applying this glue in very thick layers all over the brows, and you can kind of see I'm using a circular motion to kind of get all the hairs here. We want all the hairs coated, and don't be afraid. Hey Jada, if you're watching this, Jada, shout out to Jada. She's calling me in the middle of filming. Hey girl. Yes, gorgeous. And we're gonna do the other one. Hopefully this will work. My mom actually just cut my eyebrows for me, like cut the length of the hairs. She did such a lovely job. I have to give it to my mom. I've always said that she should work in like beauty or cosmetology because she's just so good at that kind of stuff. Okay, so now that our glue is here, I'm just gonna take a hard bristle toothbrush. I personally like using a toothbrush because it kind of can pull the glue through your brows. You can use whatever you want. You can use a spoolie, you can use some sort of comb, but this is what I use right from the Dollar Tree where I belong. And we are just going to brush these hairs up in the direction that they're going. And don't be afraid to put some pressure on here. Just doing the other side now. Gorgeous. And then I'm just gonna take my fingers and I'm just gonna press into the skin. And then taking a makeup wipe. I personally like using a makeup wipe for this step. You can use the alcohol. Celine uses the alcohol. I don't like to do that because I don't want to get it all over my skin. You're just gonna wipe around the eyebrow. Very nice. And now that this first layer is accomplished, I'm just gonna take a blow dryer and we're gonna dry the glue. You'll know when it's dry when all the purple pigment is gone. And now I am ready for my second layer of glue. You're gonna follow the same steps. We're gonna go back into our glue. The only difference is now we're not gonna go against the grain at all. Gorgeous. And the other side as well. And we're just gonna clean up all the rest of this glue. And the other side. Now just go right back into that blow dryer. Okay, so now that you have the first 2 layers on, you're gonna repeat the same process for about 5 to 7 layers. If you have really dark bushy eyebrows like I do, I'm actually gonna do 10 layers. Any more than that is just overkill. It's gonna take forever and you're never gonna eliminate all of the texture. I'm going to disappear and do the rest of my layers and I will be right back. Okay everybody, we are back and I have 10 layers of glue on my eyebrows. I feel like I have tons of Botox because I can't even move them correctly. So now what we're gonna do is we are going to take a powder and just make sure that everything is dried and laid down nicely. I have the Maybelline Fit Me. I like this powder because it has a bit of pigment to do some color correcting on some of the brown that we're seeing through the glue. You are going to press very hard into the brows and put a lot of powder on. When you think you have too much, you don't have enough. Just really getting it into those creases. Okay, now that you have that powder laid down, you're gonna wait about 5 more minutes for it to bake and settle into the skin. And look at that. Our brows are as flat as I think they are going to get. I think this is actually the best time I blocked my brows, which was awesome. A trick that I used is I just used a little bit of water when the glue was kind of getting tacky and kind of building up. I just used a tiny bit of water to kind of massage it through so that the glue could melt into the brow. And I think it made a huge difference in terms of the smoothness. Plus, I think, at least for me, with as bushy brows I have, 10 layers is pretty good for me. Next, what we are going to do is you are going to take a full coverage foundation stick. I like to use the Kryolan TV paint stick. This is a staple for the drag queens. They love this stuff. The shipping on this is extremely expensive if you're in the United States, but I think it's worth it and it's super pigmented. Also, you can use the Juvia's Place foundation sticks. I know those have pretty nice coverage. You can also use the Hourglass Vanish stick. That's a favorite. And I believe Wet n Wild has a foundation stick. So now we are just gonna go over the brow. And with the foundation stick, you're gonna wanna go in the opposite direction to fill in any of the remaining cracks of the brow and the other side. Oh yeah, this is turning out way better than all the other times I did this. So now that that's covered, you are just going to pat that out using your beauty sponge. Woohoo! Look at that brow. It is disappearing before our eyes. Very excited about this. This is definitely the best I've ever attempted at doing this, and I'm very thankful because we are on full-blown candid camera. Wow! Now we are all covered and blended. Now I'm just gonna do the rest of my face makeup and then I will come back once more. Now the next thing I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna take some white and go over this a little bit more to do some color correcting. I'm just using the NYX SFX cream color in the white. I think this was a limited edition holiday item, but the white in here is pretty good. So I'm just gonna go right over the brow with that. Just taking it right on my sponge and putting it right over the brow. Again, to just do more of that color correcting. And I'm bringing it down on the eyelid so that when we do our eyeshadow, our shadows pop just a little bit more. That is a good tip, is if you want your shadows to be nice and pigmented, you're gonna wanna use nice white base for that. And I'm just gonna put a little bit, I guess, under my eyes just to brighten it up, kind of like a concealer. Okay, so now that our base is all prepared, we can start with the eyeshadow. So let's open this video for Celine. So the first thing it looks like she does is she starts with a yellow. So let's take this in the Violet Voss palette and we're just gonna start building this up. So she puts it over here near the brow and over here near the brow. And we're just gonna blend that in very nicely. I am praying that this will look good. And then she put it also down here, nice and blended out. The next thing it looks like she does is she takes an orange and she accents down here and starts building a crease. And we are gonna take a nice clean brush. We're gonna take an orange from the Ching Beauty palette. It looks like she builds it into this pocket here. This is gonna be our new crease here. And we're gonna do the same thing on the other side, tapping in the color and blending. Yes. The eyebrow is definitely peeking through a little bit, but if you back up really far, I don't think you can tell. This kind of makeup is more for faraway illusions. It's not really meant for like close-up moments. And then she takes that same orange and starts to pat it into this corner over here. If you want, bring it out to the side and kind of flick it and fan it out, but don't bring it into the tear trough. It's gonna make you look really old and destitute. And then just again, taking that yellow just right on the corners and blending that out and doing the same up here. So it looks like she then takes like a purpley shade and she puts it right here, and she actually like builds it onto the lid a little bit, but we're not gonna do that. I'm gonna customize this for my eye shape and what I'm looking for. So we're just gonna continue in the crease over here with that. I'm gonna take it from the Ching Beauty palette and just start building here as well. Bringing it down definitely a little bit further because this is our new crease. Just keeping it lower. We want that eye shape to be very evident. And then she puts another shade of pink next to that one. So that is what we're gonna do. Ooh, I'm gonna do this fanny pack color in the Violet Voss palette. That looks like a cool shade. And just put it right next to that. Oh yeah, that's really pretty. I do love that. Wow. And I'm just kind of rounding this. She doesn't really do this, but kind of making it my own thing a little bit. Just making sure that's really packed in nicely. Just gonna clean off both of those brushes and fan that up and out, and then just fanning that pink up and out as well. That's what these looks are really about. You just build and then you kind of blend. It takes some time to kind of get used to that process. And then I'm just gonna go back into that orange and just kind of blend that a little bit more up here to make sure that's blended. I might put a little bit more back in there, just kind of close to the lash line, and just blend that up. That's pretty. Okay, things are happening in the neighborhood. I'm kind of going out of order than what she does, but this is my video. So now what we're gonna do is we're gonna paint the lid, and I'm just gonna go into my Zodiac palette. We're just gonna take that Cancer shade and just kind of build it on the eye and kind of bring it up and kind of make like a new lid. That is so beautiful. You know, I have to say I was not in a good mood today. I kind of woke up in a really sad mood, and just doing this makeup and just being in front of the camera made me feel so much better. Whenever you're having a bad day, always do your craft. We can't always improve everything going on in our lives, but we can make each day better, and this was making my day better. Now that we have that new lid, we are gonna do the inner corner now with that acidy color she does, and we're gonna go back into that Ching Beauty palette. Oh yeah, wow, that just like brightened everything up. This is one of my favorite colors in this whole palette, 1000%. And I'm just gonna blend under my lower lash line. Then what she does is she takes a pink shimmery color. We're gonna get that from the Ching Beauty palette too. And we're just gonna connect the orange. Wow, look at the life in that. And just put it over here too. Cute. And then what she did is she added some depth in the outer corners. So we're gonna go back into that Zodiac palette, and we're gonna go into that darker shade in Libra, and we're just gonna do the outer edge and bring it just up to that pink. And then she does it on the lower lash line. So I'm gonna get a really fine tipped brush, and we're just gonna put a little bit on the lower lash line. We're just gonna pat it in, kind of connecting to the upper lash line. We're not blending, we're just creating depth. I don't want any of the colors becoming muddy. I feel like once you start mixing black into things, it's all over. All right, and then she just goes crazy on the rest of her face and does the rest of her makeup. So I'm gonna be right back. I'm just gonna put some blush and some bronzer and all the other great things, and I will be right back. Okay, everybody, we are back with the final look. And I have to say, I am pretty impressed with what I accomplished today. I definitely think in my eyebrows here, the coverage wasn't very great in this part over here, but I think the rest of the eye look is a good success. Thank you so much, Celine, for your amazing look, and I hope I did it somewhat justice. Please send me your look. I wanna see if you guys attempt this and how you do. At this point, I'd like to invite you to like the video, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you on the next one. Mwah! Bye, everyone. Somebody is leaf blowing outside my house. I don't know why, because it is in the middle of winter. People are people. People are different.